Why would a mother abandon this little boy? 9 News asks the woman he was left with. It's now up to President Bush and Congress whether to act on the recommendations of the 9/11 Commission.
3-1.
And depending on whom you believe, baseball in D.C. could be a done deal. 9 News is next.
Serving Virginia, Maryland, and the district. This is WUSA 9 News at 11 p.m.
Good evening, I'm Gordon Peterson. Baseball in Washington, not so fast. That's what Major League Baseball Players Union is saying tonight about an ESPN report that the Montreal Expos move to Washington, D.C. or Northern Virginia is just about imminent. Frank Herzog joins us now to help us sort out the latest developments.
Oh, thanks a lot. ESPN Radio first reported that Expo players were told by union officials yesterday that they would be moving next season, and those officials indicated that Washington, D.C. was the probable destination. Well, after we aired the report at 6 o'clock tonight, baseball officials quickly retracted it, saying no area was mentioned as a leading contender. This much we do know at 11 o'clock. We now have confirmation that baseball will indeed make a final decision on moving the Montreal Expos sometime this summer. Most people believe it will be at the owners' meetings in Philadelphia next month. And there's every reason to believe that Washington is, in fact, the leading contender to get the team, which means either the district or Northern Virginia. Earlier this evening, Bill Collins, who heads up the Northern Virginia group, talked to me about the report and his group's readiness.
We're pleased. Obviously, our goal, the Virginia Baseball Club and my partners, when we started this process about 11 years ago, was to see the return of Major League Baseball back to our national capital area, and it looks like that decision, being reported by ESPN and the Players Union is that Major League Baseball will be played in RFK Stadium next year.
You got to figure that what happened was some of the players leaked that, and then the baseball people came in. No, we haven't made a decision. But stay tuned. This isn't over yet.
And after they gave CPR to Peter Angelos?
He got out the books and said, well, let's see, we'll file suit on this, this, and this.
Okay, thanks, Frank. So baseball hopefuls on both sides of the river tonight are saying, well, they're going to continue to make their pitch to land the Expos. Our team coverage continues live from RFK Stadium. That's where 9 News reporter Doug Buchanan is standing by live.
Always talking about the Angelos factor, aren't you, Gordon? The Boys of Summer in Montreal will be headed south of the border to our nation's capital at season's end. At least that's according to ESPN's Jason Stark, who told me on the phone earlier tonight that the chances are quote-unquote great that Major League Baseball will return here at RFK Stadium next spring after a 33-year absence. From Montreal to Washington.
Oh, that's good news.
RFK and baseball. A long-awaited reunion may soon be in the making.
Oh, I wouldn't want to lay odds on this. I wouldn't want to speculate it.
But remember, if baseball returns to our region, the Expos will play their first 3 seasons at RFK before moving to more permanent digs either in Washington or Northern Virginia.
Well, I think that any way you look at it, it's a positive development for the effort to bring Major League Baseball back to the national capital area.
But what's ultimately better for baseball? Well, as DC's mayor.
First of all, we have a town center. We're the nation's capital. This is a city on the comeback. So many things are moving positively for the city now.
And officials from the Virginia Baseball Authority.
Well, we deserve it very strongly. We've done everything required, I think, to put an excellent bid together. We have an outstanding site.
But what about the Angelos factor?
We think that Major League Baseball, we know they understand how ready and willing we are and able to support a team. We believe they understand that we're in some respects the perfect compromise choice between no team at all in the region and a team too close to the Baltimore Orioles and Peter Angelos.
We wish Baltimore the best. It's a great city. But, you know, I'm looking out for Washington. I think we got a great proposal.
But with an ESPN report with words like overwhelming probability and a strong likelihood, optimism reigns supreme on both sides of the river.
I'm confident that in the final analysis, we've put in a very competitive first-rate proposal, and the district will have a baseball stadium. I still believe that.
So we've done everything we need to do. We think that Major League Baseball, we know they understand how ready and willing we are and able to support a team.
Two sides, both still lobbying, hoping, wishing, and even D.C. Mayor Anthony Williams told me even praying that the baseball gods will see it their way. Live at RFK, Doug Buchanan, 9 News.
Thanks, Doug. Meanwhile, the Players Union and baseball officials are trying to tamp down that talk. Of other cities mentioned as possible relocation candidates for the Expos, Las Vegas appears to be the only one still in the running. Monterrey, Mexico, we're told, is no longer being seriously considered, and Portland, Oregon, and Norfolk, Virginia are seen as being extremely unlikely. Tonight, social workers need your help in finding the parents of an abandoned toddler. A 1-year-old boy was left with strangers at a Northwest Washington apartment building. 9 News reporter Audrey Barnes talked with several people who took care of the baby after his mother vanished without a trace.
I cannot imagine that somebody would just leave their baby. He's so sweet. I can't believe it.
This is the child Gail Crawford is talking about, a 1-year-old boy abandoned by his mother at the Cromwell Apartments on Ogden Street last month. Crawford says the woman claimed she was going to buy milk and vanished.
She didn't come back again, and nobody knew where to reach her. There was no phone number for her. She had a red car, but when she was leaving, I saw her leave, but I didn't think to look at the license plate or maybe write it down or something, because it never occurred to me that she wouldn't come back.
What'd she say the baby's name was?
She said his name was Adrian.
The little boy was wearing only a diaper when his mom left him. Neighbors bought him clothing and fed him for 3 days. When the mother didn't return, they called social services and police. Social workers have been hoping for a break in this case long before this, but after nearly a month, they are no closer to finding this little boy's parents. So now they're wanting as many people as possible to look at this picture and try to remember something that could help.
He's in good health. He, as you'll see, seems to be very happy and outgoing, but clearly we want to find his family.
An investigator from the Police Department Youth Division, who asked us not to show his face, returned to the apartment building with pictures of a woman who could be the baby's mother.
We're not going to give out any information as of yet, but we're just looking into the case.
But you think that the baby might have been staying here for a while?
Yes, ma'am.
The little boy, now known simply as Baby John Doe, has taken his first steps. He has some new teeth. All he needs now is to be reunited with his family. Audrey Barnes, 9 News.
Audrey also reports that the child appears to be biracial, has a small birthmark in his left arm. If you know how to find the mother, you're asked to call the police's 24-hour hotline, and that number is 202-727-9099. Tonight, at least one person's taking rabies shots after coming into contact with a rabid raccoon. The animal climbed out of an Adams Morgan sewer this week, and neighbors tell 9 News somebody tied a homemade leash around the animal. More than 24 people came in contact with it, and some even stoned it. Well, now D.C. health workers want all those people to come forward. Those at risk of getting rabies are people who have been bitten, scratched, or in any way touched by the raccoon's saliva. The most important failure was one of imagination. So says the final report of the 9/11 Commission on the September 11, 2001 attacks on Washington and New York. The commission concludes that the nation's leaders did not fully understand just how many people al-Qaeda might kill and how soon it might do it.
On that September day, we were unprepared. We did not grasp the magnitude of a threat that had been gathering over a considerable period of time. As we detail in our report, this was a failure of policy, management, capability, and above all, a failure of imagination.
The commission is calling for major changes, a new cabinet-level national director of intelligence who would oversee the FBI, the CIA, and other agencies, as well as a powerful new national counterterrorism center.
We are not just recommending moving around the deck chairs and boxes on organization charts.
And neither the Clinton nor Bush administration escapes blame for the greatest intelligence failure in American history.
None of the measures adopted by the United States government before 9/11 disturbed or even delayed the progress of the al-Qaeda plot.
Was there a link between Iraq and al-Qaeda?
We have found no relationship whatever between Iraq and the attack on 9/11. That just doesn't exist.
And for politicians, a warning from a family member.
This is what you do. You ask anybody who's running for office, what is your position on these recommendations? And if they're not going to vote for it, they should not be sent back to Washington.
Congress doesn't get away unscathed either. The commission says congressional oversight has been episodic and splintered, leading to a proposal to overhaul the structure of congressional committees that oversee intelligence. Garlic powder. Tonight, authorities say that's what they found in a package sent to the John Kerry campaign headquarters in Northwest Washington. The powder was in a letter containing some blank paper. There was no threatening note. Still, authorities sealed the building and they conducted field tests on the powder. Nobody was hurt. And when the powder came in, Kerry aides continued with their work. They did not evacuate the building at first. Investigators consider this a hoax meant to scare people, and the FBI will investigate. Looks like tonight's storms will linger into tomorrow. Topper will update your forecast. Also ahead, as the investigation into a pregnant woman's disappearance expands, so do questions about her husband's behavior.
Gentlemen,
and Metro has a supply and demand problem. The urgent warning that may have many riders scrambling for a way to pay is coming up.
I'm meteorologist Topper Shutt. High temperature 90 today, only the fourth time we've hit it so far in July. Temperatures right now kind of muggy. They're not going to go down much more. 73 in Greenbelt, Bethesda, and Tysons. 76 rather in Fairfax. 74 in Alexandria, and 73 up in Greenbelt, and Paris 73s for Capitol Heights and also Upper Marlboro. Coming up, lots to talk about. We'll show you live Doppler 9000. There are still storms out there. We'll have your weekend planner and, of course, your 7-day outlook.
Morning in Baghdad, where Iraqi police have launched raids against suspected militants. Those raids have centered on what they believe to be hideouts in the center of Baghdad, where some of the city's fiercest fighting has occurred. Iraqi's prime minister is in Cairo meeting with other Arab leaders. He's demanding that they tighten their borders to help keep out foreign terrorists that he believes are behind much of the violence in Iraq. We're learning tonight that the husband of a missing Utah woman is in the hospital, apparently because of stress. Mark Hacking has not appeared in public since Monday, when he said his wife Lori never returned from a morning jog. The disappearance came days before the couple were to have moved to North Carolina, supposedly so that Mark Hacking could attend medical school. But yesterday, relatives learned that he had lied to his wife and family and had not even applied to the school. Police call Hacking a person of interest in the investigation. Search is on again. 9 News has learned that the committee that's in charge of finding a new D.C. school superintendent interviewed some of the latest candidates tonight. Tomorrow, that committee will interview another prospect, Dr. Eugene Sanders. Dr. Sanders is the current superintendent of the Toledo, Ohio school system.
Over the next couple of days, that will be narrowed down to probably 2 or 3 candidates, and then we'll be zeroing in on the decision right after that. So I think that over the next couple of weeks, we'll be able to build some consensus around one candidate.
9 News has also learned that one of the candidates is a corporate publishing executive. Well, get your Metro Smart Trip cards while you can, if you can. Metro says it's running so low, it's going to stop selling them for a while. That'll become Monday. We told you earlier this week that Metro was caught off guard by a sudden surge in sales. Sales took off recently when Metro began accepting only Smart Trip cards to pay for parking. For the time being, customers who don't have Smart Trip must pay paper fare cards for the exact amount of the parking fee and hand them to workers who will temporarily staff Metro parking lots. Heavy, heavy rain there.
Big time.
I got caught in it.
You did?
Yeah.
The windshield wipers work okay?
They did.
You got through, huh?
Yeah, lights on, too.
Lights on, that's right. That's a law, actually. We're looking at the potential for more showers and thunderstorms tomorrow and even into the weekend. Now, speaking of thunderstorms, Gordon, we average about 40 to 45 days with storms here in the immediate metro area. Check out this storm in Denver. Most of the activity was just to the east of Denver. That's not snow, no, that's hail. That is an incredible storm that produced that much hail to actually cause it, actually affected motorists' driving conditions on the road, and a lot of flooding as well. Anywhere from 2 to 4 inches of rain fell. And we'll show you those storms in a minute. Look at that wall of water. Unbelievable. All right, let's talk about Doppler radar. We still have some leftover showers and thunderstorms. Now, around town, it's pretty quiet. Most of the activity is just east of us, and these have dissipated somewhat, but they're not moving very far, very fast from Annapolis down toward Leonardtown. In and around town, we're okay around Bethesda, back toward Fairfax, and we're seeing a little bit of activity out 50, just north of Davidsonville. You have to go pretty far north and west, but we'll point these out to you. because they may be in here tomorrow morning when you head off to work. So this is a pretty big storm out toward Yellow Spring, Cape and Springs, and pushing toward Winchester. So Hillary will take care of that for you tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. Let's go to the computer, and we'll give you the wide shot. There are the storms that moved through Denver earlier today. They're now pushing east into the Plain States. There's the frontal system we're watching. Boy, is it moving slowly. We're going to try to get this front through here by tomorrow evening. Until we do, we're still going to run the risk of showers and thunderstorms. A little trough went through us tonight, and that's what gave us the showers and storms. But if you look back to the west, there's still plenty of showers, even all the way back into Ohio. So we're not going to clear out anytime fast. Even when the front goes through, we won't clear out very quickly. After a high of 90, 70s across the board right now. 74 at National, 73 Dulles, 72 BWI, and 75 here at Broadcast House. Now the winds, light, humidity 87%, dew point 70, a little bit uncomfortable, and the pressure is falling over the past hour. Lows tonight, just about where they are currently. 72 in Greenbelt, 73 in Bethesda, 73 in Tysons, maybe 72 out in Fairfax, 70 out in Great Falls if you're lucky, and generally in the mid-70s for Capitol Heights, Upper Marlboro 73 as well. So for tonight, showers and thunderstorms, muggy 69 to 74, and tomorrow morning, continued showers and storms, warm 70s to around 80, and by afternoon, showers and thunderstorms again, high temperatures 81 to 85 as that cold front tries to limp through here. Your weekend planner, 84 tomorrow, 80 on Saturday, some showers left over, and 80 on Sunday, also with some showers. An unsettled weekend. The next 7 days, it's unsettled for a while, actually. Showers into next week as well. Looking at showers on Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday. And again, the weekend will be unsettled, but I don't think it will be a washout, although if you're going to the beach, take a book.
We'll try to listen to some calming music. Okay. Help your serenity.
While we ponder whether or not the Expos will ever play baseball here, I've got highlights. I'll show you the results of the Orioles doubleheader in Boston and tell you why Greg Maddux says these Moises Alou home runs made all the difference in his pitching performance for the Cubs. Sports right after the break.
WUSA 9 News wants to hear from you. If you see news happening in your neighborhood, call us right away at 202-895-5700. WUSA 9 News, 202-895-5700.
Tomorrow morning on WUSA 9 News, summer camp is a rite of passage for many children. For some, it's a chance to escape a crime-ridden neighborhood. At 6:15, Peggy Fox shows us how one camp is giving youngsters the chance to nature.
Then at 6:45, Maryland's First Lady opens the governor's mansion to our Cindy Pena to talk about family life and politics.
Welcome back, thunderstorms. We'll have the weekend forecast.
Be sure to join us Friday morning for WUSA 9 News.
They still gamble in Las Vegas, don't they?
Last time I was there, they did.
Is that the image Major League Baseball wants for its team?
Don't think so. I think they might shy away from that.
I think make Pete Rose the spokesman for the new team, or what?
It'd be just wonderful, wouldn't it? It's D.C., Northern Virginia, or Las Vegas. That's the word. One of those three will own the Montreal Expos before Christmas this year. Question is, where will Santa stop? If you missed it earlier in our show, there is a confirmation that the decision will be made this summer, probably at next month's owners' meetings in Philadelphia. And the Washington area is right in the thick of it. But that's all we know for tonight. The Orioles' win streak stopped at 4 games. We know that. The Red Sox bounced back and got them 4-0 in the nightcap of their doubleheader tonight. Give much of the credit to Boston's left fielder, David McCarty. He pulled in this fly ball from Melvin Mora in the first and then threw a strike to home plate to get Brian Roberts trying to score. It was going to be that kind of a night. Then in the Boston first, McCarty came up to bat with a 2-run single that upped Boston's lead to 3-0. They went on to win it 4-0. In the opener, Melvin Mora hit 2 of these. Home runs. Baltimore beat the Sox 8-3. That puts the Red Sox 8.5 games behind the Yankees, and they start a series in Fenway against the Yankees tomorrow. In other games, it was a pitcher's night. Freddie Garcia pitched 7 shutout innings and got the 3-0 shutout of the Cleveland Indians. That's 2 straight shutout losses for Cleveland. Did I say pitcher? Greg Maddux of the Cubs needed only 92 pitches against the Reds tonight. In 2 hours and 15 minutes, he threw a 4-hit complete game, winning 13-2. And when they caught this fly ball for the final out, Maddux had notched the 298th win of his career. Way to go. Bad day for Ranger starter Ricardo Rodriguez. He was hit on the elbow by the line drive from Rob Quinlan. Broke a bone. He's probably lost for the year. Angels beat the Rangers 11-1. Stage 17 Tour de France, Andres Clodin trying to steal the race at the very end. Will Lance Armstrong let it happen?
No reaction. The race just got won here by Andreas Clodin. It's all over, and that's how you counter-attack a move, and well taken too. As Clodin goes up to the line now, it's not going to be far to the finish. There is a time gap, but the man in yellow is running at him with that usual determination. Ulrich is in the slipstream. Armstrong is coming with an incredible rush, and Clodin has realised it too late. Is there any stopping Lance Armstrong in this Tour de France? And the answer is no, there is not.
It was a tactical race, the final few kilometers, and everybody was attacking. So at that point, for me, game on, and you know, everything's fair.
A week after the British Open, the Senior British Open, and here's one of the leaders, John Chiles, with a birdie putt on the 13th hole today. But it was Eduardo Romero who came up with a clutch shot at 15 that propelled him into the lead. Not bad from that deep rough, huh? Look at it run right on up there. Now, all he has to do is make the putt, and he does. 4 golfers are tied for the lead after the first round at 4 under par. Finally, word from Dallas this morning news. Former Tennessee running back Eddie George about to sign a 1-year deal with the Cowboys. Dallas desperately needs a big back. George is desperately looking for work. And there's a report from the San Francisco Chronicle tonight that Marion Jones' ex-husband, who has been banned for steroid use, told IRS investigators that he injected her with illegal steroids before the 2000 Olympic Games in Sydney, where she won 5 gold medals.
Typical ex-husband.
That's it. To be continued. Back with another look at Topper's forecast. Santas from all over the world have gathered for a Santa Claus convention in Copenhagen. This, of course, is the off-season for St. Nick. So at this convention, there is time for reindeer games, a parade down Main Street, and, of course, a dip in the water, accompanied by some of Santa's helpers. Oh, my goodness. No wonder Santa spends so much time at the North Pole.
Ho, ho, ho!
That's 9 News. Thanks for joining us.